Thank you, Your Honor. Would love a final order if the court finds that's appropriate. As I understand it, the agreements between the parties, they agree on a standard possession order. I don't believe there's an agreement as to the pickup location. Your Honor, I would suggest Killeen PD, Harker Heights PD, Coppers Cove PD, something along those lines. But I will ultimately defer to the court. I'm not going to push that point too hard. And I believe that's the end of the agreements. State is requesting non-disclosure. There'll be some testimony that there are at least 2 incidents. And then, as I understand it, Mr. Davis is on probation, so I'll ask him some questions about that. Other than that, the contested issues, I believe Ms. Childress is requesting no geographic restriction. I believe Mr. Davis is willing to do a geographic restriction to the state of Texas. The state takes no position there. As far as current support, the state calculates income of $1,586.25, giving credit for 3 other children. It'd be $208 on the child support, $24 on the medical. I believe the testimony will be that there's not coverage available at reasonable cost. And then as far as the retroactive support, the state believes 16 months is the correct retroactive period. Using that same gross, 211 would be the 16 by 211 would be $3,376, and requesting repayment of $67 a month. And like I said, other than the standard possession order, I don't believe the parties are, I don't believe I have both of them in agreement on any of those points.
All right, I'm sorry, Ms. Childress, you got a lot of wind noise coming in through your microphone, so I had to go ahead and mute you, but I'll have you unmute in a moment. But all right, folks, we're looking at setting up an order here. We'll see whether or not I'm going to make this a final attempt. But the math is the math. And again, you got a lot of, I'm not sure where, I hope you're on the back of a motorcycle, but you got a lot of wind noise coming in. So try to block that off, and hopefully that'll help. Anyway, again, the rules are, folks, I'm supposed to set you up as joint managing conservators. I'm going to set, and I'll see whether or not that's going to be the case, because the state is saying that there may be a probation. I got to make sure that wasn't, or a parole that wasn't based on family violence, and we'll figure out what that is going forward. Here's the thing, Mr. Davis, the math's the math. Child support's based on what you earn, and the court has to order it based on that. And the state's come up with the math, and you have to show the court that the math is not correct, and of course the mother is entitled to any what the lay people call back child support. It's called retroactive child support. And under the laws of the state of Texas, and especially since you knew, so your child was born, you signed off on an AOP, Acknowledgment of Paternity, that the state and the custodial partner are allowed to ask for up to, automatically ask for and get up to 4 years back child support. And they can even go further back than that if there's special circumstances. But that's not going to be, there's no need for that today. This is all, the child in this matter is well under the age of 4. So anyway, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and let the state call you both as witnesses. I'll get your testimony, but again, this is kind of pretty straightforward. Visitation, child support, and the non-disclosure we'll take up, but I'll have the state ask specific questions about where everyone's from, what the history is here with Bell County, and we'll do that, and we'll figure out whether or not the court's going to do a geo restriction or not. So at this time, I'm going to ask both of y'all, ma'am, I know you can't do it because you don't have video. But Mr. Davis, I'm asking you to turn your video, and I'm going to ask you both to raise your right hand so I can put you under oath.
You know to turn it off. Okay.
Okay. All right, raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Thank you. Do you both solemnly swear or affirm your testimony going to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Childress? You're not, sir, you put your hand down. You're under oath. Ms. Childress, do you so swear?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Do you so swear to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right, you're both officially under oath. I'm going to let the state call you both as witnesses. At the end of the hearing, if there's anything that you think I didn't, that I need to know that didn't come out, so long as it's relevant, I'll allow you to give your own information as a closing statement. So at this time, I'm going to let the state call you individually, and you may call your first witness, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Ms. Childress. Ma'am, will you state your full name, please?
Marina Childress.
All right, so let's talk about, you probably heard me tell the judge a lot, so let's go through it. So first of all, how old is y'all's child?
He's 1, be 2, September 28th.
Okay. And as I understand it, you're not opposed to doing a standard possession order for Mr. Davis?
One more time, I'm sorry. I'm on the phone. Can you repeat that?
Yes, standard possession order for Mr. Davis, that's acceptable to you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the rest of it. Geographic restriction, as I understand it, you're asking that the court not impose a geographic restriction?
Yes.
Okay, and can you, in a couple sentences, why you're asking, why do you need to be able to take the child out of Texas?
Is that just for like visitation or like moving permanently out of Texas?
Moving permanently.
Okay. I don't have too much reason as far as wanting to move out of Texas, but I still would like to be able to still travel with him outside of Texas.
All right, here's the deal, ma'am. You're allowed to travel, okay? But we're talking about moving permanently. And the legislature says it came out with an edict about 10 years ago, says it's best for children to be raised by both parents. And so the court should go ahead in most circumstances set a geo restriction to the county that you live in and the counties that touch the county that you live in. And you can always ask the court to lift that. And if you join the military or get a job somewhere else, the court more likely would do it. But for right now, I'm probably looking at either you have to live either in Bell or a contiguous county, but you're allowed to travel with your child. I want to go to Disney. Well, you want to go to Disney World at this point. But if you want to take him somewhere to see some other family member somewhere else, that's not a problem, so long as it's on your time. Understood?
Yes, I understand.
All right, then. So, ma'am, is there a legal reason why the court should not order a geo restriction to Bell and contiguous counties, or at least to the state of Texas in the Central Time Zone?
One more time?
Is there a reason I should not order a geo restriction, ma'am?
No.
Thank you. You may continue your questioning, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And do you know what city or town Mr. Davis lives in?
Yes.
Where does he live?
Parker Heights, Texas.
Okay, and again, don't need an address, but what city or town do you live in?
I live in Carpers Cove, Texas.
Okay. All right, let's talk about medical coverage. Do you have health coverage for Jaden available at either through work or through another source at reasonable cost?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What's that source?
Medicaid through food stamps.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let's talk about the child support. So the state has calculated his gross income at $1,586.25. Do you have an issue with that calculation?
No.
All right, and do you know how many other children Mr. Davis either is paying child support for or live with him?
No.
Okay. So let's talk about the retroactive support. When did you and Mr. Davis separate?
April 2024.
Just separated this year, ma'am?
No, last year.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misheard you. I thought you said 25. Sorry. No problem. You may proceed, Mr. Down.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right, so my request is going to be to start the retroactive support May of 2025. I take it you don't have any issue with that? I'm sorry, I said May of 2025. I meant to say May of 2024.
No, I don't have no issue.
Okay. In a couple sentences, can you tell the court what were the circumstances around your separation?
Due to him putting hands on me in front of my children and flattening my tire to my vehicle.
Okay, so let's talk about that too. Have there been, I take it there's been several acts of family violence, is that correct? Or violence by Mr. Davis against you?
Yes.
Okay, when was the first incident?
The first time I was pregnant, so I want to say May 2023.
Okay, and what happened?
I was at home with my other child, and I came over, and me and him got into it, and he slapped me a few times and choked me,
Okay,
and I told him to leave.
and were the police called?
No.
And why were the police not called?
At that time, I just didn't feel like I needed to or wanted to at that time.
Okay. Was fear an issue?
Yes, it was, but I didn't want to jeopardize anything, so I didn't go that far as calling the police.
Okay, and then, all right, and then I kind of cut you off. I think there was the other incident was what led to the separation. Is that right?
Yes.
And again, sorry that I cut you off, but will you state again what happened there?
Well, when we separated,
Yeah, what did he do when you separated?
he put his hands on me. He pushed me to the ground, took my phone from me, and flattened my tire.
Okay. Were you attempting to call the police?
Yes, that time I did call the police. He knew I was on the phone with the police, and he still flattened my tire.
Okay. And do you know what resulted from the call, from the phone call to the police?
As far as,
Was he prosecuted?
no, they showed up and he was gone.
Okay. Has he made other threats against you?
Yes, he has.
Okay. Were there one or two threats that especially stand out?
I'll say about two that I
Okay.
can recall at this moment.
Can you tell the court what those were?
One threat is him coming over to my house as far as me getting sleep. He threatened me, that's one. And then another as far as him getting into it again at his parents' house.
Okay. Has he, so my understanding is there's a probation. Mr. Davis is on probation. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Has he told you the details of the probation, or what? Actually, we don't want the details. Has he told you what he's on probation for?
Yes.
What has he told you he's on probation for?
I believe it's from him driving. I forgot exactly the details. It was a while ago.
Okay. But we're not talking about an act of violence.
No, not towards
Okay.
me, no.
Okay. Well, towards anybody.
No.
Okay. I will pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, we'll be back in just a moment. Go ahead and call your next witness, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll call Mr. Davis. Sir, will you state your full name, please?
Lorenzo Lealvin Davis Jr.
Okay. And where do you live, Mr. Davis?
Harker Heights, Texas.
All right. And did I state correctly that you were willing to allow a geographic restriction to the whole state of Texas?
Yes, I would like that simply because she's been keeping him from me, not answering her phone, not letting me to see him.
Okay, sir, we don't need the reasoning, but yeah, you are asking for that geo restriction, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's not a problem, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't think you're gonna have to prove that one up. Where do you live, Mr. Davis?
Harker Heights, Texas.
Okay. And do you have health insurance available through your work?
Yes, I believe so.
Would you be able to, well, I should have asked a tighter question. Would you have health insurance available for your son through your work?
Jaden, no.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about the money. So the state calculated your interest or your gross monthly before taxes or anything else, $1,586.25. I take it you disagree with that calculation?
No, that's correct. They cut my hours at my job. I've been trying to find another position.
Yes, sir. Um, as I understand it, you have several other children. Is that correct?
Yes.
And how many children are you on child support for?
None.
How many children live with you?
Um, two, I guess you would say.
I thought that there were three that live with you. It's just two.
Two, one of them we kind of like co-parent. We have a co-parent agreement between each other.
Okay. Well, so that third one with the co-parenting agreement is with you half the time?
Yes. I get him during the daytime while she's at work, and then she watches him during the nighttime.
Okay.
And then we flop weekends. That
Yes,
was our
sir.
personal agreement.
Okay. And then, so let's talk about the retroactive support. So, Miss, I calculated the support based off of 16 months, which would have you all separating in April of 2024. Do you agree or disagree with that date of separation?
I agree.
Okay. And then the calculation, $3,376, is that number, is that acceptable to you as well?
Yeah, that sound good.
Okay, I appreciate it, sir. All right, and then let's talk about the allegations of violence. Have you ever been convicted of a crime that involved family violence?
Not at all.
Okay. She seemed to think that the probation you're on was, are you on probation currently?
Yes,
And she seemed to think it was for something driving related. Is that correct?
very correct.
Okay. Um,
I'm on a deferred probation right now.
yes, sir. I think that's what I have, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
All right, folks. Like I said, sir, you've never been convicted of Mr. Davis, you've never been convicted of family violence, correct?
No.
All right, then, sir. And I'm not going to go into the details about asking you specific questions about the mother's allegations because technically, sir, the statute of limitations hasn't run on those items. So I'm going to invoke your Fifth Amendment rights on that, and go ahead and see about doing what I can on this one way or the other. But again, I'm not going to ask you to say anything that's going to either present the fact that you may end up admitting something that can get you in trouble or technically well, that's it. We're not going to go there. This is civil court, and I'm not going to help the DA or the county attorney's out on this one too much. All right, guys. What kind of visitation have you been getting? You said that mom's been keeping the child away from you. What kind of visitation have you had since y'all separated, sir? What's been the norm?
Barely any. But I guess you could say the past few weeks, she stops by with him, but I'm perfectly capable of watching them by myself. I've raised 3 children, single father.
Okay, well, I'm looking at giving you standard visitation, sir, which means you get to watch him by yourself, but we're going to do child's under the age of 3. So I get to change things around just a little bit, but I'm looking at doing the weekends and the holidays, and I'll tweak the summers because the child's under the age of 3. But for right now, yeah, I'm looking at letting you do that, sir. And I'm looking at making you live in Harker Heights,
Yes.
and mom lives in Killeen.
Copper's Cove.
And Cove, that's right, I'm sorry. All right, here's what the norm is, sir. I'm looking at naming right now, based on this information, I'm looking at naming you both joint managing conservators, giving you the right, I'm giving mom the right to decide domicile, I'm going to restrict that right to the central time zone of the state of Texas, which means she can live anywhere in Texas, so long as it's in the central time zone. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and order that you pay child support and cash medical based on the amounts the states come up with. I'm looking at ordering you to pay, ordering retroactive child support since the date of separation and ordering repayment at the amount the state's requesting. I'm looking at starting a visitation package the first, and that's the first, third, fifth weekends of the month. What's your work schedule, sir?
I work overnight, 10 to 6 a.m. But right now it's I'm free as a bird. They give me like 2-3 days a week.
All right, do you usually get off on weekends?
I probably work like one weekend, if Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But yeah, weekends usually I'm free too.
All right, sir. Well, usually with a young child like this, I go ahead and I'll start looking at doing visitation the first, third, and fifth Saturdays of the first, third, fifth Saturdays of the month, starting at with pickup at 9 a.m. And I'm going to use a police department to make sure there's nothing going wrong on this one. And since unfortunately mom lives in Cole, and it's your responsibility to pick the child up at the beginning of visitation, sir, and your responsibility to return the child at the end of visitation, I'm going to make the exchange point at this time, the Copper's Cove Police Department. And like I said, I want to, instead of just, I'm sorry, let me go ahead and, I'm just going to start doing the weekends at night. I was looking at doing it on Saturday mornings, but I'm going to go ahead and make the exchange at 6 p.m. on Friday night and at 6 p.m. on the following Sunday. And the exchanges to take place at the Copper's Cove Police Department for weekend visits. I'm looking at giving you the standard package, sir, as far as the holidays are concerned. All that information will be in there. Everybody gets a week of Christmas, and everybody gets every other Thanksgiving. Whoever doesn't have a child's birthday gets a couple of hours. I'm going to order also that you two use a parenting app going forward. I don't want y'all texting and saying that, and I get that he said, she said things, because here's the deal, folks. Thanks to AI, you can fake anything these days. Voice messages, all that other stuff, text messages. So I'm going to go ahead and order that y'all use a parenting app where all the information can be verified through the app company what has happened here. So I'm gonna order y'all to use AppClose going forward. That's AppClose. AppClose. Mom, you go to AppClose, get set up the account, give dad the information, and all communications going forward will be through the app. That means text messaging, phone calls, FaceTime, all that's going to be through the app. I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, give dad that. The only major bit, I'm going spring breaks as per the standard possession order, that'll be in there. Right now, the only thing I'm going to change in your order is, instead of giving dad 30-day summer visitation, I'm going to give him 15 or 14, and let me look at what July looks like next year, and I'm going to make it a specific time next July for dad to have visitation. So this, all right, sir, your summer visitation. Oh wow, I'm not going to start. I'm going to start, sir. Your pickup for the child will be on the first day of July, which is on a Wednesday at 6 p.m. And you'll return the child to mom the following on the 15th of July. So you get the child from July 1st to July 15th. And that's only for next summer. After starting the year after that, the child's old enough, so you'll get the standard summer package. I know that's a lot of mumbo jumbo I threw at you, sir and ma'am. The state understands how to set that up, and that's going to be your visitation package. I'm going to go ahead and order that I'm not sure what I'm going to do on court costs. Just a moment. Anyway, I'm going to save that for a minute. All right, folks, I'm setting up child support. I'm setting up cash medical. I'm setting up back child support. I'm setting up visitation, and I'm setting up the place for the exchange as I previously just went over. Again, the norm is the pickup and drop off is at mom's, but because of y'all circumstances, I'm making that at the Copper's Cove Police Department. And ma'am, if you move somewhere else, you let dad know where that is. And but the exchange is to take place at the either the closest PD or sheriff's department to your new address, and you'll need to determine what that is by Google Maps and figure out what that is and tell dad what the new exchange is as soon as you get a new address, if that ever comes up. So I'm going to start with you, sir, and then I'm going to come over to you, ma'am. from what I've ruled on so far, again, I talk real fast, and that's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo. Do you have any questions, sir?
Yes. What happens if she doesn't abide by the first, third, and the fifth? Like I can't reach her. She doesn't respond back because she
Okay,
has a
sir.
habit on that.
All right, here's the deal, sir. I'm also going to tell you that you need to let her know at least 72 hours in advance through the app. And so, ma'am, I'm ordering you to do the app. If you don't set up the app, then you're going to be in violation of the court order. You need to let her know you're going to do that. And sir, if she doesn't follow through like she's supposed to, then you need to seek legal counsel to file a necessary motion for contempt for her violating the court order. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All right, but you got to do your own lawyer or learn how to do it yourself. All right. Any other questions, sir?
No.
All right. Okay, again, folks, everything under the court order dealing with child support and visitation is enforceable. Violation of that means that after a hearing, the court can order you either if you don't pay your child support, sir, that's always going to be 180 days in jail. Ma'am, if you don't allow her visitation of that order, under that order, then like I say, the max sentences I've ever given is 60 days, but I could always go to 180. So I'm going to start with you next, ma'am. Do you have questions?
Just to make sure he won't be able to have my address.
All right, okay, I'll look at non-disclosure, but again, you set up that app immediately. You need to do that within the next 48 hours and give Dad that information, understood?
What's the name of the app?
App close, APPCLOSE. All right, you have each other's phone numbers, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so man, once you set the app up, go ahead and download it. It's free. Set it up. Send Dad the invitation to join the app. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then going forward, all communications in there. He's going to give you, if he wants to see the child on his visitation day weekend, he's going to give you at least 72 hours advance notice. I'll tell you what, so that makes that Wednesday. Go ahead and make that Wednesday by 6 o'clock, sir. You need to let her know, hey, I'm going to come by and pick him up. Meet me at the police station, okay? All right,
Roger
and
that.
then the drop off is going to be, the pickup is going to be at the PD at 6, and drop off is going to be at the PD at 6, and that's for all visitation. All right, next question, ma'am.
When is this supposed to start?
I'm looking at the calendar right now, except that's the wrong screen to do it on. Let me go to the other screen. All right, this is the school's already started, so actually this coming Saturday, this coming weekend, tomorrow is the third weekend of the month. There's five weekends this month. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that the exchange, ma'am and sir, you want your visitation for tomorrow, correct?
Yes.
All right, and the exchange will take place at 6 p.m. at the Copperas Cove Police Department for this coming weekend. And the drop-off is the following Sunday at 6. And then because there's a 5th Friday of the month, always look at the Fridays. This month has 5 Fridays, so the 29th, the next one is your visitation, sir. But you'll need to let mom know in advance by that Wednesday that you want that Friday. And the very next weekend is the first weekend again, sir. And you get the child for that weekend also. Like I said, there's a 5th Friday every 2 or 3 months, and this just so happens to be one. And you'll need to let mom know by Wednesday that you're going to come by and pick up the child on that coming Friday in exchange. You'll always be at Copperas Cove Police Department. Next question, ma'am.
So he gets to see the child even if he doesn't pay, or is that like deducted out of his
There
check?
are two separate issues: failure to pay child support, failure to pay get court order visitation, are two separate issues. And like I said, I've actually not quite had both parents in jail at the same time, but they did pass each other on the way in and out. That was that one case. So again, I can hold contempt is both of them. And it specifically is going to say in your order, because believe me, this has come up. Failure for him to pay child support is not a reason to allow visitation. Failure for her to not allow visitation, sir, is not a reason for you not to pay child support. You both got to follow the court order, and the state will more than likely help her with an enforcement, sir. If you don't pay, they'll know whether or not you're going to be paying, because it comes to the state where your child support comes to the state. So, but ma'am, you could always hire your own lawyer and get it done. But technically, child support is due on the first day of the month. And if it's not paid by the last day of the month, sir, then at midnight, you violate the court order and you could end up in Bell, since this is a Bell County case, Bell County Jail for 180 days. All right. Next question, ma'am.
I think that's all the questions that I have.
Okay. All right. Anything else to clarify as far as my ruling, sir?
I'm sorry, it was
Non-disclosure is
breaking up.
granted, sir.
It was breaking up.
Well, I'm breaking up.
Yeah, connection. Sorry, it's the connection. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I can hear you now, I believe.
All right. All right, Mr. Diamond, anything else you need as far as my ruling, sir?
No, Your Honor, I think you covered it.
All right then, folks. Anyway, the state's going to prepare that order. You want them back in breakout, sir, or you going to tell them to go? They can go ahead and leave, and you're going to send it by DocuSign through with their email.
If I can DocuSign it, Your Honor, I hate to keep them around waiting a half hour or so for me to churn this thing out.
Yeah, I know the new software has been a problem. Yeah, okay, folks, you're going to be free to go. The state's going to go ahead and send you a copy of the order for you to sign out through DocuSign. That's going to come through your email. View it, sign it, and get it, and send it back. It'll automatically send itself back. Once I sign it, that order becomes final in 30 days. 30 days from the date I signed it. Okay, well, it's not counting the day I signed it, but count out 30 days after that, and that order becomes final. Anything before that date, that order can be technically changed, but it has to be, a motion has to be brought before the court to do that. But after it becomes final, that's it. That's what you got to live with until there's a further order of the court. And I'll start with you one last time, sir. Any other questions?
No, sir, you covered it all.
All right, Ms. Childress. Ms. Childress, anything else, ma'am?
Yes. If he decides not to have Jaden for one of his weekends, is he able to get Jaden out next weekend, or he has to wait?
He has to wait till it's his turn, ma'am. Again, he's got to let you know by the Wednesday before that he's going to do it, and the app will do that. The reason I like the app, this came up recently, and the app puts everything out like a lawyer would print it out. I got a book that showed every message, showed everything, and I can determine easily who was in the right and who was in the wrong. That's why we're going to use the app instead of just regular text messaging. But yes, ma'am, if he doesn't contact you by the pickup one weekend, then he has to wait till his very next court-ordered visitation, unless you or he agree to something different. Y'all can always agree to something different, folks. This is a long haul. This is a young, y'all, the baby's not even 2 years old yet. Y'all got 16 long years, and there's going to be lots of times where dad may have to work, mom may have to work, somebody's going to be sick. Y'all need to work those things out and come to agreements. But if you can't come to agreement, fall back on the order. And agreements are not enforceable. Only the orders are enforceable. All right, any other questions, ma'am?
No, that's it.
All right, then. All right, folks, thank y'all both very much. The state's going to send you a copy of the order, and we're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.